industry and also every woman around the world. It's about saying, look, we're all behind you in whatever way that is. There is no way that I am ever going to be in a room and be treated in the way that people have been treated ever again, and not stand up and not say I don't agree with that. The whole reason why that was able to take place, like anything that's abuse of power, is silence and people feeling like they can't, and I don't feel like that anymore.
Well, that was Claire Foy speaking. Joining us now is film critic Anna Smith and showbiz journalist as well, Gail Murphy, is going to join us from LA. Morning, both. Thank you very much for joining us. Anna, let's just pick, and we will talk about the movies, but they are the whole event was so dominated by this campaign, Time's Up, Me Too. What do you make of it?
I think it's fantastic. I mean, as a woman, as a film industry fan, I found it actually very moving. Amazing to see all these women standing in solidarity with each other alongside the men, mostly all wearing black, all taking the opportunity to talk about equality, about harassment, both on the red carpet and when they took to the stage either to present or accept awards. So it's exciting.
Yeah, and Gail, there's a sort of interesting atmosphere in the room as well. Some people almost felt a little bit nervy about what to say on that occasion, but Oprah Winfrey rightly grabbed many of the headlines for a really powerful speech.
She tore up the place. She literally ate the scenery. She came out there like a force of nature and explained how in 1965, when she was a young girl, she was watching TV on the floor at her mom's house, and it just so happened to be Anne Bancroft giving Sidney Poitier his Oscar, and she had never seen anyone who looked like her before in that situation before. And she said it changed her life, and she realizes that young girls are going to be watching her tonight, and her goal is to change their lives as well. She said some really interesting stuff, and I can share. I know I can share just a couple of things with you. She called out tyrants, secret holders, liars. She says she values the press now more than she ever has before, and she says speaking your truth is the most powerful tool that you have. And this year, we became the story, meaning all the women and all the enlightened men.
Anna Smith, you've been covering films for many years now. Do you sense, you know, because there's a real sentiment there, and do you really think that things will change, are changing? And will we see that in the films that we'll be watching in the future?
I hope so. I mean, if you look at some of the films that have been honoured this year, I mean, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, that's a story of a strong woman fighting back against the establishment, for example. Frances McDormand won for that. And Lady Bird is a woman's story. So I think this year is the beginning of a shift, and I think it's the first time we've seen women stand together and make such a loud statement about it. But as Natalie Portman pointed out, we need more women directors honoured and recognised, and I hope that this is the beginning of a shift where people will take those kind of issues more seriously.
And Gail, if I could ask you as well about Seth Meyers, because a few people were concerned about having a comedian as a host on an occasion like this. One of his opening comments was to thank the ladies and I believe remaining gentlemen in the room, which is quite a clever opening remark. And he also made a couple of sort of quite blatant jokes about Harvey Weinstein as well, didn't he?
Yes, and there was like a sucking in of air throughout the entire room, which you could feel actually through the television. He opened up with saying, "Happy New Year, Hollywood. It's 2018. Marijuana is legal and sexual harassment is finally not." He asked the audience to look back on a day when comedian Seth Rogen was the only real threat to North Korea when they hacked Sony Films, the interview in 2014. It was like a machine gun. He just had just commentary after commentary after commentary. I thought he did a fabulous job.
OK, Gail Murphy, thank you very much. Anna Smith, thank you too. And you're coming back a little bit later when I promise we will talk in more depth about who actually won as well. But thank you very much for the moment. Thanks both.
Because Ewan McGregor was winning, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
And Gary Oldman as well. And Big Little Lies as a TV series did very well. And I think Nicole Kidman won an award for that as well, didn't she too? Yeah.
More on that later. Also, let's have a catch up on the weather. Carol's looking at it, and we are almost wearing exactly the same dress. Good morning.
Good morning. Good taste, Lou. Good morning. This morning it's a cold start to the day. In fact, across parts of southern Scotland and northern England, the temperature currently is -7 to -10. So there's some frost around as well, not just in those areas, in other areas too. Cold start, but by the middle of the week, we're looking at some rain. And then as we head towards the latter part of the week, well, it's not going to be quite as cold. For some of us, we'll see a return to double-figure temperatures. This morning, though, you can see where we've got the clear skies as we push northwards. This is where we've got